everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you have been here before. My name is Brittany and I want to start a new series on the channel for 2025. If it goes well, maybe I'll bring it into 2026 as well. But I decided that for 2025 I want to have a star rating system for the tarot and oracle decks that I have in my collection, for the ones that I am bringing in to my collection for 2025. So today is February 1st, and so far I have received 5 decks this year. 4 are from Kickstarters and 1 I bought from Barnes & Noble. So technically I purchased 4 of these in 2023 and 2024, but I didn't get them in till January. But I believe almost all of them have already shown on the channel so far this year, except one of them. It is going to be 3 oracle and 2 tarot. So the rating system that I wouldn't say I created, but the rating system that I chose for the decks will be 5 key categories: readability, how well does it read right off the bat; versatility, can I use these decks for any types of readings across the board, or are they more nuanced for certain subjects. Then we have inclusivity, can I use this for anyone for a reading, and will they either feel seen or feel like they can use this deck themselves, how inclusive it is. Then we have shuffability. That's really important for me because shuffling a deck is how I start to begin to meditate and think about the question that I'm asking. So being able to shuffle it well is a big part of my practice, and it's something that really makes me gravitate towards certain decks. And I have really weak wrists, so yeah, it's really important that I can really get a good shuffle. And then last is guidebook. How good is the guidebook? I've had so many wonderful readings from using the guidebook. I have learned so much from reading guidebooks. I don't think that every single deck needs a guidebook or should have one if you create a deck and you don't have one, but for my personal rating system, to be able to give a deck 5 stars, I am adding in the guidebook because personally that is really important for me. So yeah, obviously this is all very subjective for me personally, the way I'm gonna rate these, so please don't take any kind of offense or anything like that. But anyway, I've gotten in 5 decks this year so far, so I'm going to rate all 5 of these decks today, and then going forward I will use this rating system for any deck that I bring in for 2025. And then at the end of the year I will be able to have another video where I talk about all of the 5-star decks. So I'm going to switch all over and we will get started. Real quick, I did want to mention that the reason why I didn't choose aesthetics is because I don't feel like I should rate a deck for how beautiful I feel like it is, and the aesthetics don't usually come into play when I pick and choose what deck I'm gonna work with. Yeah, I just feel like the aesthetics of a deck can be just too broad, and yeah, I just didn't. And then I also am not going to rate packaging. I know I usually kind of talk about that when I'm opening a deck, how does it come out like that, or I'm not going to do any of that because it doesn't really matter to me. Once I have the deck in it, what packaging it's in doesn't ever affect if I'm going to grab the deck to use. If I hate the way it's packaged, I'll just put it in a little bag or something. So that's why those 2 kinds of categories didn't make it into my rating system. So yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know that. And back to the good stuff. Okay, so I made a little key over here so that way I can remember why each one got the star it did. So readability is yellow, versatility is this like mauve color, inclusivity is the green, shuffability is purple, and then blue is the guidebook. Then I wrote down, they are in order of when I got them, or like the, you know, the way they came in, so they are in that kind of order. And then I just have Oracle in green and Tarot in purple. So yeah, it's not the best, it's just what I did. This is for me. This is my like junk thing, not thing, but it's my book that I just write anything and everything, and it's all over the place, and that's just my brain. So all right, put this over to, well, actually I'm going to keep it open and just keep it over to the side, and we will begin with the Cave of Sybil. This was the first deck that I got in 2025. It is an Oracle deck. It's definitely more on the darker side of decks that I have. Every time I have worked with this deck, it has definitely brought stuff to the surface, and I feel like there's just this big shift in energy every time I use it. So it's a very powerful deck. And for shuffability, let's go there first. Very nice. I do like this cardstock. It's a really good shuffle. Very easy, and has a nice slide. So definitely gets a star for shuffability. Readability, it can be kind of difficult. There is a lot going on. I do find that this is like the mother card, I believe. Yeah. Oof. You can get some very powerful readings looking at this artwork. Sometimes it's not always what matches up with the keyword, but I think that it's important to note what you get out of the card is what you need to be called to see in that card. So like for the example, you know, I see a balancing act here. They're like, you know, stacked up, so I get that balance. They're like perched here, and the word is pestilence. So yeah, don't know if it is. Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's pretty. Ugh. That brings up some stuff for me. So like the cord, umbilical cord. I will give it a star for readability, because just staring at it, you can get a lot, and just don't feel like you are tied to the keyword. So we will give it a star for readability. Versatility. Now, I don't think this is a very versatile deck. I cannot pull this deck out for any type of reading. This is very specific kind of work. And while that doesn't make it a negative, it does mean I can't give it a star for that. So it will not get a versatility star. Inclusivity, that is tricky. I do feel this deck has a very feminine view. Personally, I definitely get like that dark mother, that, Sybil energy, so I do think this is more on the feminine side. So I do think that maybe this definitely would never be a deck that I'd pull out to do for a reading for someone who identifies as a male. Definitely not. I mean, unless they really want a brutal fucking reading. This is definitely, I mean, the feminine rage that just comes out of these cards, right? It's definitely not a deck I would pull for a male client. So it can't get, but that could be, again, a positive for a lot of people. But in this case, I can't give it that. And then, so what we did already, the readability, versatility, inclusivity, shuffability, and guidebook is last. So I do have mixed feelings about the guidebook. It technically doesn't even come with a guidebook. This is more considered a spell book. And I find that really freaking intriguing. And when I've been pulling cards and working with this deck, and then I will write down the spell or poem that comes with that card, I personally feel it. So yeah, I'll give it a star for that. Furious blood, blazing fever of the damned, sprawl to ruin on forest ground. For feral. I mean, that's some powerful shit, right? It's definitely not a book that's going to give you any kinds of like spreads or things like that. So I feel like it could be maybe like a half star, because it's not technically a guidebook. It is a spell book, but I love it. I felt very moved, and like I said, I've gotten some very potent, powerful readings, to the point where I had to put the deck away because the stuff that it was bringing up and the energy it was bringing, it was very, like, I guess you could say towery for me. January has been a very, very difficult year, and I'm not blaming, month. Yeah. That's how January's felt, like an entire freaking year. But I'm not blaming the deck, obviously. But it's definitely brought out some stuff for me as I'm going through some hard shit. But yeah, so how many stars? Oh my gosh, I probably should give it the stars as I'm doing this so I can remember. Oh Lord. Okay, I'm gonna do that real quick and then we'll go to the next one. All right, I gave Cave of Sybil 3 stars. I really do love that spell book, so I gave it that 3rd star because it deserves to be. It is a really, really good deck. So Cave of Sybil, 3 stars. Next up, we have the Chicken Transition Oracle. Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, guys, this has been a really, really cool deck. Here is the guidebook. We can start with that first. I actually really like this book. It does have some cute spreads. And yeah, so it comes with spreads, which is always a big plus for me. As y'all know, I'm a slut for spreads. It has great write-ups, nice lengthy-ish, and yeah, so it gets a star for, I guess it's more of a dot, but we're gonna just go with star. It is gonna get a star for guidebook. All right, Shuffability, very nice. I like the way this shuffles. I guess that might not be too fair for oracles, just because they usually do come in, like, there's not as many cards in oracles generally, so it does make it a bit easier. But whatever this is, I like it. So we will give it a star for that. Purple. Okay. And now let's go to readability. I actually think this deck reads wonderfully. It does have the keyword right there with the visuals, and yeah, I think it's very readable. God damn it, why do I get, oh, maybe it's because I have it on. Oh, mess, oh, I can't, ugh, messing with that eye. So we will give it a star for readability. I love this. I love the colors in this. And it looks really, really beautiful. Oh, I shouldn't do this, but it does look really, really beautiful with the Cosmovisions Oracle. I do like to pair oracles together sometimes. And, well, I mean, this is technically like a tarot / oracle. You can definitely read it as a tarot. It has its like own system, but yeah, they are so beautiful next to each other. So yes, that's another way that it's very versatile, because there are a few decks it looks really good next to. The Cosmic Vision is just one of my favorites to pair up with it. So let's give it a star for readability. Okay, then we have Inclusivity. Considering this is all chickens, I do feel like I can pull this out for anyone, unless you have a fear of chickens. I don't personally know anyone who is afraid of chickens, but I'm sure that they're out there. So maybe I can give it... I don't know. What do y'all think? Can I give it a star if someone is afraid of chickens? I mean, I wouldn't pull this out if they were. Fear of fowl is something you should take seriously. You should never use someone's fear against them. So I guess I can't. I will not give it a star, even though I personally don't know anyone who I couldn't pull this out for. If there's someone out there who is afraid of chickens, and this would not be the deck I would use for them. So, yeah. And then, what's the last one? Versatility. Yes, this deck is very versatile. I can use this for any type of reading. I don't feel like it would only be for certain subjects. Like if it was for, you know, like a finance reading, balancing those finances. Are you spending too much money in one area? Are you neglecting another where you should be, you know, focusing? So yeah, this totally. And then let's see, love. Freedom. Are you ready to get out of this relationship? Are you feeling stuck? Are they giving you space to be yourself? So yeah, this totally. What else? What other work? Childlike wonder. When you were growing up, did you ever think that you would be in the job that you're in? Does this job make you feel fulfilled? You know, yeah, totally. This is definitely a versatile deck. So it will get a star for that. Versatility. Chicken Transition. Got 4 stars. Up next is the Feltcraft Tarot. This is a really special deck. The Craft Felt Tarot by Gianna Lucci. I did pronounce the last name wrong in my unboxing, and I know now it is Lucci, not Lucy or Luki. Lucci. Okay, so, oh no, what did I do? Let me see. I have been putting this deck through the ringer lately, so it's okay. I'll try to buff that out later. Shuffability, wonderful. Yes, it shuffles so nicely. I like slippy decks, and this one is very slippy, and I can shuffle it to so nice. I just love shuffling. So we will definitely give it a mark for shuffability. Boop. Versatility. I think that any reading this would definitely work for. I maybe wouldn't pull it out if I was doing a relationship reading though. But you could totally do that. I think it's very versatile. I mean, it's all felt. Stained glass with felt. Isn't this cool? She really did pick good cardstock to show all of the details, and yeah, it just looks so textured, and it isn't, and it's so cool. There's so much depth. Yes, I do find that it is versatile. And is it inclusive? I think so. I mean, I don't really know if I've seen, let's see, any more, well, there's a pregnant lady. Always on the Empress for some reason. Hermit, someone old. That's kind of, you know, I do like that you could kind of see this as male, female, but you can kind of not too. They're just outlines. Do I see anyone that's more of a bigger body? If I think about it. And I won't do this kind of like detailed if, you know, like in the chicken transition, because they're chickens. Cave of Sybil. That didn't really come up, but it didn't get a star for being inclusive, but if you go on by like anyone, yeah, you could totally just. So yes, I think that you can definitely give it, or I can give it a star for inclusivity. But you know what? I could totally see someone arguing about that, which valid. As a, you know, bigger bodied person. But I don't feel like I'm excluded using it. So, you know. And I've been using it a lot. So, yeah. Inclusivity, for sure. Versatility, yes. Did I already give it that one? Let's give it to it. Oop. What we have left? Readability. Pretty. You know, actually, I could say that it is pretty readable right off the bat. I mean, maybe if you didn't know, for like 5 of Wands, this could just look like holding up sticks, but you know, I don't know. Obviously, celebration, world, you know, traveling. So yeah, no, it's definitely, it's readable. Wanting to leave. Cutting through that fog. Feeling trapped. I think it's very readable right off the gates. And then last is guidebook. This has little haikus for every single card, which I think is pretty genius. So like Queen of Wands, heart led by passion, inner fire so warm, all gather around. It's not very lengthy. It doesn't go into a lot. It's just a haiku. I really love that though. But can I count that as a good guidebook? It does not come with any kinds of spreads. So I guess I'll have to dock it for that. Wow. Okay. I mean, but I really do love the haikus. And I gave Cave of Sybil, also didn't have any spreads. You know what? I think that the haikus are so well written, and it does give you a lot to think about and journal with. So yes, I will give it a dot or a star for the guidebook, because I think this is pretty freaking genius. So I didn't realize that I was going to be debating this so much. And that means the Craft Felt Tarot got 5 stars. Which, honestly, that's pretty valid. Like I said, I've been using this a lot. Mostly for readings for myself, though. But up next, we have Call of the Morgan. I picked this up at Barnes & Noble along with the Witch in Darkness book by Kelly Ann Maddox. I started reading this today and it's pretty freaking fantastic. But that is not what this... Oops, sorry. That is not what this is about. This is about the decks. So, we got Call of the Morgan Oracle. Very big packaging. Get into the guidebook. We have the cards. It is still in order because I meant to do a video for this deck and I have not. So we will get to see it in order. Well, actually, no, we won't, because I'm not going to just go through every single one of these cards. All right, let's start with Readability. If I was just picking up this deck to read? Is it easy to read? Ooh, look at all that rage. There is a lot going on. Look at that cave back there. The smoke coming up. I do find that maybe if you don't know the Morgan, maybe you won't find this very easy to read. If you've never worked with the Morgan, or if you know absolutely nothing about the Morgan and you pick this up, I think maybe you wouldn't get everything out of the cards. So I guess out of the bat, I cannot give it a star for readability. The artwork though, oh man, I love this artist. I have another oracle from this artist and it's just phenomenal. And I know, oh wow, oh, look at the snakes, the shedding of that skin, so powerful. Artwork is just 10 out of 10. Wow. Is it a versatile deck? I guess it would not, considering it is all about the Morgan. So if you're not working with the Morgan, or again, if you know nothing about the Morgan, this would not be the deck I would pull for you. Oh. Is it inclusive? I mean, can I consider a deck all about the Morgan inclusive? Damn, I guess not. What? This is crazy. Maybe I need to rethink my rating system. I do feel like there is a good balance of the male-female aspect in the deck. I don't really feel like the Morgan could be used by everyone though. And it might make a lot of people uncomfortable. And it's not, I guess it wouldn't be completely relatable to everyone. Okay, next would be Shuffability. Let's see how this baby shuffles. Very nice. Oh yeah. Yeah, definite star for Shuffability. Very nice cardstock for a mass market deck. Very nice. And the price point was really good. I think it was like $25. And it's beautiful. And then guidebook. This guidebook is fantastic. It has some other books that is, I think it's all about the Morgan. I have Priestess of the Morgan by this author. I don't have the other two, but I like that they added that. What we got? Authors, artists, Naomi Kornock. Yeah, I love her artwork. It's beautiful. But there's a whole thing about introducing the Morgan with an introduction, how to use the cards. I think there are some spreads in here too. lots of info. We got keywords. We have a divination meeting, a spell for clarity. Oh, I love that. I love this. Perfect. This is a great book. Well, I guess it does not have, does it? It is going to finish. Oh, like that. I really like that there's a pronunciation guide. I need that. As everybody knows, I can't freaking... Yeah, here we go. Yes, there are spreads. I knew there were some spreads. I remembered this one. Yeah. Well, I remembered the art. Yep, spreads. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Great guidebook. So, we'll give it a dot for that. Man, my stupid rating system. I can't believe... But, you know, it's just because it is so very specific. So I guess that's why. Doesn't mean I will use the deck any less. Yeah. I feel this year is a definite depth year for me. Just digging deep. Anyway, yeah, I'm thinking too much now. So, Shuffability. We gotta give it a star for that. And yeah. Don't feel like that is completely fair for Call of the Morgan. But, you know, what can I do? I have to be true to my rating system. And that is Call of the Morgan. And then on last will be the Victorian Fairy Tarot. Where did I put the box? Oh, it's up here. Let me put this up real quick. I have so many cats. And I don't need them knocking everything over and making a mess. So I'm just going to put it away now. All right. Let's go. Victorian Fairy Tarot. I already know where this will not get a star, unfortunately. And that will be for Shuffability. This deck is really hard for me to shuffle. It's very stiff. This gilding is, it hurts me. It hurts my fingers. Sharp. And yeah, it does not shuffle well. So it will not get, I mean, you can do this, but it's not how I like to shuffle my decks. Readability. Definitely pretty easy to read. Look at them gossiping, not paying attention. That is very rude. Looking at and admiring your craft. Yeah, very easy, very readable. You can pull it out and get some great readings right off the bat with it. So we will definitely give it a star for that. Versatility, no. No, you know what? Yes. Yes. I can use this for any type of reading for sure. I don't think it's stuck into just one, or I mean, I said no at first because I'm like, can you really do what some call like shadow work with it? But yeah, you totally can. You can. Any deck you can use for that. And this might bring up some stuff that you didn't want. And I can think of when I did my first initial flip through of this deck, there were, I want to say, at least two cards 2 cards I can remember that made me feel really icky and sad. And so, you know, that is for sure. Yeah. Inclusivity would be a no. This will not get, because it's not very inclusive. But I mean, it's Fae. I would not pull this out to use for anyone. So versatility is a yes. Give that, but inclusivity is a no. And then guidebook. I do like the guidebook. The book is very pretty. It's good paper. I do wish it was kind of bigger. It's very narrow, but that's not that big of a deal. It comes with some wonderful writings. It comes with like little, not just like little poems, but you know, little sayings from different like authors and poets. When you get this card in a reading, in a nutshell, like, it has some great stuff. Great stuff. There's also some really good spreads. I've not used them yet, though. Are there spreads? I'm pretty sure. I'm always saying that, aren't I? But no, I think it does. Maybe I'm wrong, though. No, it does, yeah. Okay. Haven't used any of them yet, but very good guidebook. Lots of information. Very useful. And I didn't even notice it has a ribbon. That's always a plus. So guidebook is a yes. Wow, I thought Victorian Fairy would do better than this, but it didn't. So there we go. 3 stars. And that is the 5 decks that I've gotten in January. As I go through the year, I will pull this out and do this again. I'm keeping all of these in here so I can easily pull it for when I do these types of reviews. What do y'all think of this? Do y'all find it interesting? I don't know. I think it's interesting. And it's definitely making me think of my decks in a different light. So I will find it very interesting on how it all goes at the end of the year. But okay. Thank y'all so much for sticking around and watching. I know this was kind of a bit chaotic just because I kind of worked on this just today and kind of like worked it out with y'all here. But let me know what y'all think. And my husband always digs at me for not doing this, but if you liked this, please feel free to give me a little like mark or subscribe. Yeah, it just helps my channel and it helps me keep rambling on and on and on. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.